Welcome to the Bagley building. Let's go inside. This building was built in 1883. There was a jewelry store in here, the Bagley Jewelry Store, for a continuous 131 years. It sold to another owner for a few years, and then it became mine. Come on in. So this is the actual former jewelry store space. As of even 2 days ago, you couldn't see this floor. It was so dusty, it was basically uninhabitable. But it just goes to show when you are determined like I am, and you have a lot of amazing people on your team, you can make anything happen fast. So we were able to restore this floor back to life. More to come, but this is the original tile. And we actually also pulled down the walls to the brick and had them cleaned. And now it's just starting to shine. So a place that has not seen life for, I think, 7 or 8 years is coming back to life with a holiday party tonight. We're going to look at a few more things in here. Super excited about the party we're having. We're welcoming the community and so many friends and family to come and celebrate the work that we have been doing over just over a year. We bought the building in late August of 2022. We renovated a little bit that fall. We started in earnest in January. Paused in May when we started our busy wedding season, and then we came back to it and are in a really great place today with almost all the spaces both renovated and leased. So we're feeling really good about that. We've brought a building of 19,000 square feet back to life when it had been empty for many years. I love hearing stories about people that bought jewelry in the Bagley Jewelry Store, and I also have heard many stories about this back corner where a lot of china was picked out and purchased. I'm really excited to hear more stories tonight, as I know there will be people in the community that will be able to share them with us. But I've had many people talk about standing along this wall, buying engagement rings, jewelry, heirloom jewelry coming in to be sized and repaired. I just love that this was always a place of happiness and luxury. We're bringing that back to life. So now we're gonna go up the grand staircase. And one of my goals in this renovation was to repurpose, reuse, get creative, and be as just thoughtful as possible about how we could best use the space. So I'm going to show you one of the examples of that. I have many managers that work for me, and you'll see all their spaces throughout this tour. And one of them needed an office, and this was a little closet under the stairs that we were able to turn into what I think is an absolutely adorable office space. We added the shiplap wall with a window in it to give Ellen a little bit of the outside view. And then we just put some flooring down, painted, some fun woodwork, wallpaper. Next thing you know, she's got a great office and an awesome light fixture. That was pretty clutch. So Ellen is the manager of the Vault Event Decor, and she oversees the warehouse, which is going to be here to our left. This was a space that sold us on the building. We knew that it would meet our needs to house our rental collection. And we now have the warehouse of our dreams. We remember back in just the previous spring talking about how we wish we had a warehouse. We put it out to the universe that we were looking for one in our general neighborhood, and lo and behold, it was across the street from where we've been working. So we, in this space, put in a new floor, a beautiful solid fluid surface floor. We put in all new lighting, painted, made an entrance into the rest of our space here in a doorway so that we could connect all of our spaces. And then we turned this little existing HVAC closet into a great utility wall and some storage. We had this rack shelving brought in a custom black color to match our branding. And as you can see, it houses many of the beautiful pieces that go out on the events that we plan and work with clients to produce. So one of the critical features of a warehouse space for us was that it could have a garage door. We needed the ease of access in and out. That had become a major issue in our loading and unloading in our previous space. And we were able to put a garage door on this wall. So we love our beautiful white garage door that goes out to the alley and has made our loading and unloading just an absolute game changer. I'm gonna open it now. And of course, we're set up for a holiday party, so you can see this isn't how this normally looks. There's usually loading and unloading happening of event decor, but we also are debuting our new dance floor. Really excited to add this to our collection and our disco ball collection, which has been really popular this season.
How we doing?
Hi, and here's Matt, who's going to DJ the disco lounge tonight. Matt, you're in a video.
I love videos. With my good friend Asher. How
Yes.
you doing? Are you ready to get your disco groove on, baby? That's good.
Awesome.
Because it's going to be grooving.
So we're now going to go from the warehouse into what we call our showroom space, our design showroom. So again, being able to connect the spaces from the warehouse to where we can meet with clients and display more of our small wares. A little quick peep here into the office. It's always a fun view. And here we are. So this space was uninhabitable. Like, I can't even tell you how unrecognizable it is today. There was an entirely other suite on this side of the space. There was a wall in between, multiple doors and entrances in the back. Over here, there was actually just a hole in the wall in the brick that we had to climb up a ladder to get into the floral studio space. And the floor was what I would describe as basically a dirt floor for most of it. One of the design decisions that meant a lot to me was this tile. It's reminiscent for me of European design, and I just really wanted to do something bold in this space because it's where we're going to be enjoying spending time with our clients and entertaining, and so I went for it here. So one of my favorite examples of the way that we were able to repurpose and reuse materials from the building is in this staircase. It was a really exciting day when a staircase went in and we were no longer using a ladder to climb up and down into what would be our floral studio. So all of the wood on the side of the staircase, all of the facing you'll see here and in other places throughout the building was wood that we found. It came with the building and was apparently used as shelving. There were just massive warehouse shelves that were built out of this wood. It had been taken apart and cut into small pieces, and then we were able to use it here. Also, the railings for the staircase are made out of steam pipes that came out of the building, which had not been on steam heat for a very long time, but they were just all over the walls. We were able to pull them out and repurpose them as our railings. So it's one of my favorite features. Another really fun story is this light fixture. So back in 2017, we had space in the Medical Arts Building, which is directly across the street from where we are now. This fixture hung in that space, and I had been told at that time by the landlord that there was a story behind it, that it was an important light fixture. It had been given to the Allenfall family, who had the space for many, many years and was well known in town. And we enjoyed it during that time. When we moved over here, I saw that that space was empty and the light fixture was still there, and I thought to myself, I wonder if anybody's loving that right now, or could we welcome it over here? So after working with the landlords of that building, I learned a little bit more about the story. It was actually a gift from Mrs. Allworth in the Allworth building to Mrs. Allenfall when they opened their store. They were very gracious to offer it to us to hang here now in the Bagley building, and it is absolutely an heirloom in this community and is rumored to have been from Tiffany's in New York City. So I'm so excited to have it here. We also chose this wallpaper over here as an homage to that same space that we used to occupy in the Medical Arts Building. Everybody loved seeing this peony design, and so we brought it back into this space. And this little corner will someday be a kitchenette, but right now it's going to be home for a band tonight. So now we're gonna go upstairs to our floral studio. This is, oh gosh, they're all my favorite spaces, but this is one of my absolute favorite spaces. It was literally a dark hole, and now come and see. So welcome to the floral studio, home of Superior Blooms. Like I said before, downstairs, this space was unrecognizable. The floors were black. The brick was black. It was full of a bunch of wood and garbage and nonsense. And somehow I could see through all of that it would be beautiful. And I didn't even know how beautiful it would be. We have examples up here of more of the reclaimed wood that we were able to use in the project. This is an original door that we repurposed over here. And we were able to frame in and cover some of the mechanicals that were in the space. And then we pan into what is our beautiful floral studio, which most of the time is full of flowers in progress. Today it's serving a couple other purposes, including a sweets table and a hair and makeup studio. So one thing I like to point out is this table. So this table was original to the building as well. It clearly had been signed over the years by past employees. And it's so cool to us that this is a legacy from the Bagley jewelry store. We had it epoxied and now use it as our primary floral station. So just a really cool example of bringing something old, making it useful again. One of the many reasons that we knew we needed to move from our earlier space and chose this building is that we knew we needed to have a walk-in cooler for our floral business. So this is the walk-in cooler. We are thrilled with how it has changed our life in the floral department. It's a little empty right now, but I'll give you a little peek inside. So the cooler comes apart in sections, so they were able to bring it up through the hole in the brick. This was pre-staircase. And reconstruct it inside here, and there was literally the perfect place with access to the roof for the condenser, and it couldn't have been a more perfect location to put a floral cooler. Another pride and joy of this space is this sink. This was original to the building as well, and based on my research, it's from the early 1900s. This sink was down a level, but I knew immediately that it would be a perfect fit here in the floral studio and in a place of honor. And then over here, we generally have a lot of activity going on in the floral world, but for today, it's a lounge. Another amazing feature is this laddered sink station, which in the floral world, water is key. And so we've created just a really beautiful sink station where our staff can spend many hours filling vases and feeding flowers. So that was really important to us to create a nice sink space. We have a staircase over here that will lead eventually to a more permanent entrance for this space. But I also had a lot of fun finding light fixtures on Facebook Marketplace and other found locations, and this is one of my favorites. I think it came out really well. So some of my all-time favorite and worst memories happened in the next room. This is the floral studio office, and truly a transformation like no other. So the space was completely covered in plaster, and the floors were covered in many layers, including tar, burlap, and rubber. I personally lost an entire weekend of my life trying to clean them, and then turned over the reins to my amazing floor guy, Kurt from Twin Ports Hardwood, and he said, "Don't worry about it, I got this." So they came out so well. I love this space. It has the best natural light in the building. We have also reclaimed these windows from a warehouse in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, and you'll see them show up in a couple places. But adding this window on this wall brought light in and just created a really neat visual with that light fixture. And the muse for the entire floral studio was actually this couch. I found this couch right after before we even had a notion of this building, but we knew we were moving in the direction of our own space. And I said, we're just gonna get it and we're gonna figure it out. And so color palette and everything, this was really the muse. This picture here hanging above it is near and dear to my heart. It was made by the amazing Brit from Tangled Walnut, and it was created using wood from the building, including lath as the backer from this room. So it is just so special. She also used the couch as the inspiration for the art piece. So I just can't even believe it's real. It's so cool. So yeah, this is the Floral Studio office. Our florist, Alyssa, has found just that she can get away in here and plan some beautiful floral designs. So now we're gonna go downstairs. We have a lot of stairs up and down in this building, and it all ends up in a loop. So there's many times a day I'm running circles in here. But this is another one of my favorite spaces. Welcome to the break room and headquarters for North End Special Events. This space, again, I say this a lot, but it looked like somebody left in the middle of the night and didn't come back, and it was more or less uninhabitable, but I loved it right away. There was something about it being just in the heart of the building that felt like it could be a really great space for my staff to relax and eat lunch and hang out, we have found that to be true, and we love spending time down here. The white sink that's upstairs used to be on this wall over here. The green tile that I chose is inspired by Glensheen Mansion, one of our landmarks in Duluth. I went with Masabi Black Granite, which is from the Iron Range, and just the pink and green details. They're really reminiscent of our brand story from early on in the company and some of my favorite colors. So I just ran with it in this space, and it feels very personal in here. We were able to save so many of the features that were in this room, including the shelving all up above the sink. This shelving here, all of this was here. We just painted it, refinished the countertop and epoxied it, and it became the home of our snack wall. Let me tell you, the snack wall is the best thing in our lives. There's nothing like having a busy wedding day or event day when on the way out the door you can grab some snacks and know that, that you're gonna have something to move on throughout the day, not to mention just during the work day. So we love our rainbow snack wall. It was a goal that we had, and we were really excited when we were able to realize it. We also just have general workstation in here where we do projects on the Cricut, the sewing machine, and it's just really nice communal space that we can spend time together. One of the most important stories and features in this building is this booth. So when we first toured the building, the booth was actually located in the main room, the former Bagley jewelry store. I immediately saw it and other booths that were sitting with it, and I knew exactly where it was from. I knew it. I said, that has got to be from the old Coney Island restaurant on Superior Street. And the way I knew that is that in the early days of my business, I would work with my mom on Saturdays, Saturday wedding days, and my husband and my father would have our kids out at their lake house. And then we'd stay here in Duluth, and on Sunday morning, we would all meet up at the old Coney Island for breakfast and talk about the weekend, tell the stories, and then the kids would come back with me, my husband and I would head home, and my parents would head home. But it was such a great meeting space, and we always sat in this booth. Somehow it was always available, and we always sat here. And now I'm really sad I didn't let my kids carve their name into it, because that would be really cool. So instead we're carving our names in it now, and we had an employee party recently where we asked past employees to carve their names and the dates that they worked with us. So we hope that it will live long as a record of the people that have worked with me here at North End Special Events. So we have so many great lunches at this booth, and every time I see it, I just think of like how we got here and just what an amazing story it is for my whole career. So now we're gonna go down another level. So in our former space, what we were very well known for is that we had an amazing vault. We had the super cool bank vaults from the 1935. And everybody talked about it. We even named one of our businesses after it, the vault. So when we thought about leaving, that was the thing that probably made me the saddest, was that we would be leaving the vault. But now we have our own vault. It's right over here. So this is our new vault. It's a little different style, but we love it all the same. It came full of some really amazing old record books, including from as early as 1902. This is really a record of all of the jewelry and china and who knows what purchased from the Bagley jewelry store. And a really fun story is that our florist Alyssa was able to find where her grandfather bought her grandmother's engagement ring in the book. So there's some really cool stuff here. We just have it to hold it in history in this vault. And one of the favorite things in here are these books of old marketing from the jewelry store. And I actually use this as inspiration for our new branding, which we're launching today, in a lot of the texts and the use of line drawings in the imagery. So I met with my graphic designer and we looked at these books and we used it as inspiration. So I love seeing how the marketing was done in the past and picking up on pieces of that for the future. And now we're gonna go into the tea room and I'm joined by my husband and partner in all of this, Nick. So this is a hidden gem in this building that we still are waiting to get the full story on. It was known as the tea room, so we call it that today. Sometimes we call it the speakeasy. We just have fun with it, and it's actually also the office of Nick, which has turned into a lot of fun having him in the building with us, although also comes with a lot of demands and asks for him to do things for me. So just a really cool space with a lot of historic character, including this fireplace. The tile work on it is really cool, and I would love to get more of the historic story about this, as I have seen it in other places throughout Duluth. Specifically reminds me of the Kitschy Gammy Club. So the desk was also left here in the Bagley building. In my understanding, it was the last owner, Rick Heimbach, used it as a desk when this was his office, and so we kept it in here as well. It was just again, anything that we could save and reuse, we made that a priority in everything that we did. So that's the last room on our tour. We're gonna head back out to the street, follow me. But I'm so excited to have been able to walk through the space, showing many of the features of the work that we did to revitalize a 138-year-old, 19,000 square foot building, which is, like I said, now nearly fully occupied and thriving in downtown Duluth. We hope that it's the beginning of a great trajectory for the city of Duluth, especially on Superior Street. Thank you so much for coming along with me on this tour of the historic Bagley building renovation. I'm super excited to celebrate tonight with friends, family, and community members, and I'm really grateful to all the vendors that helped make this happen, including that amazing grazing table from Blackwood's Catering. I can't wait to dig into that. So until next time, thanks so much, and have a great night.